Vatican has responded aggressively to the consecration of 4 bishops of the Society of St. Pius X. This is an ultra-traditionalist Catholic group. It was formed in 1970 in opposition to the modernizing reforms of the Second Vatican Council. These priests celebrate the ancient Latin Mass and traditional in their approach to the Catholic faith. On Wednesday in Switzerland, they consecrated these 4 bishops without a papal mandate in direct defiance of Pope Leo XIV.
Hello guys, welcome back to Christianity Reloaded. The Catholic Church is bigger than SSPX, and the obedient is better than sacrifice. And you can find this in 1 Samuel, I think 1 Samuel 15:22. You know, Prophet Samuel, if you don't have obedience, if obedience is more important than sacrifice, But this SSPX Society of St. Society of St. Paul the Tenth, or Society of St. Paul the Tenth, I believe, I think is a bishop or something like that. Was a bishop. They went ahead with disobedience. They went ahead with the disobedience of the Catholic hierarchy, and they still call themselves Catholic, but they are not Catholic. And the number one sign they are not Catholic is that they are not even universal. They are a schematic group now because the Pope came out swinging, he came out and put out a definite statement so that nobody will be in confusion. That's the job of the Pope, to confirm the brethren, and that's what he did. So that if you're going there, if you think like tradition, the stuff or their liturgy is better or is more important to you than your own faith, and you're still going there, that you are not. You're going to a sect that would definitely be something else. Maybe they're going to be Protestants in the future because that's where it's going to go. Because one thing is that these people, they claim to be the authentic interpreter of sacred tradition, the tradition of the church. They tell you that, that we don't like this ecumenical council. Vatican II is not valid. So now they are their own pope. They are the one that interpreting, that have authentic interpretation of what council, valid council or not. This council is valid and this council is not valid. So these people are not even Catholic in the first place, because how do Catholics know that a council is valid? It's all Pope recognize it. You know what I mean? If Pope said that this council is valid, it becomes valid, binding. It's what binding on us, But this Society of St. Paul Pius the 10th, they think like, they are doing the God's work. You know what I mean? And I see people sympathizing with them. Oh, let us pray for them. Let us pray for them. But when Jesus in the Bible was speaking about his body and blood, if you don't eat my body and eat my blood, you have no life in you. And my body is real food. What happened? People among his disciples, they listened to this his teaching. They listened to it and they decided that this is hard teaching. They can't take it. And Jesus didn't tell them, please. They left, and Jesus didn't tell them come back, or let us pray for them to come back. No. What's the point of praying for them? You know what I mean? I'm not saying you shouldn't pray for them, but before you pray for them, pray for other people. Pray for the atheists, for conversion of people into the church, first of all, before you remember them. Because these people, they know the truth, but they don't want to follow the truth. Because they want to follow their own passion, You know why? You know the reason why I say that they know the truth, because Saint Augustine said that for you to get to the truth, you have to possess knowledge, and they possess that knowledge. You know, they possess knowledge, so they cannot say the ignorance about the church, how the church works. You know, this these guys are bishops. You know, it's not like they are ordinary lay people. You know, so you can't excuse what they are doing. You know, so I believe like people that want to hang on to some of their stuff, they say they are doing well, because whenever these people groups want to break away from the Catholic Church, they always think like we want to restore the original stuff. The church have gone in a negative direction. We want to restore it. That's what they are claiming. The same thing Martin Luther claimed. You know, we are the authentic. We want to bring it. We want to continue this authentic Christianity that the church is moving away from. That's that's what that's their modus operandi. You know, and one thing I guarantee you with these people is that you know, because it's always easy to break away, but among themselves they will kind of fight among themselves. It's different because they are disobedient to the mother church. Another bishop among the ordained, one of them is gonna come up and disagree with them, and they will tear themselves apart. Just a matter of time. Give them time, it's gonna happen. That's for sure. And because this is how Protestants started, you know, Martin Luther think like, you know, other people that are not is bringing to his own church, Lutheran church. Before you know it, they have Calvinists, you know, they have Methodists, you know, they divide among themselves, because the same measure you use, other people can still use that measure. At the point, one bishop might say, look, you guys are now deviating from real Catholic tradition. I want to restore it, and they bring division among them. And there's no way to you know, bring them back, because what are you gonna appeal to for you to say I'm the real person? You know, you cannot appeal. The bishop is a bishop as well. You're a bishop, you know. So the Catholic Church is bigger than SSPX, and people that are continue going there, they're not Catholic anymore. Peace.